and grant that we, having thy fear always before our eyes, and laying aside all private interests, prejudices, and partial affections, the result of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy blessed name, the maintenance of true religion and justice, the safety, honor, and happiness of the Queen, the public weal, peace and tranquility of the island, and the uniting and knitting together of the hearts of all persons and estates within the same, in true Christian love and charity, one towards another, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
This Honourable House now resumes its sitting. Call of the roll.
Mrs. Holness, Mr. Bartlett, Mr. Holness, Dr. Clark, Dr. Chang, Mr. Shaw, Mr. Samuda, Ms. Grange, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Malawu-Fort, Dr. Tufton, Mr. Mackenzie, Mr. Chuck, Mr. Vaz, Mr. Warmington, Mr. Charles, Mr. Green, Mr. Morgan, Mr. Hutchinson, Mr. Terry Long, Ms. Smith, Dr. Dunn, Mrs. Cuthbert Flynn, Mr. Main, Mr. Davis, Mr. Witter, Mr. Brown, Dr. Brown-Burke, Dr. Charles, Mr. Chin, Mr. Clark, Mr. Cousins, Ms. Crawford, Ms. Daly, Ms. Davis, Mr. Golding, Mr. Graham, Dr. Guy, Ms. Hamilton, Ms. Hannah, Mr. Henriquez, Mr. Henry, Mr. Green, Mr. Hilton, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Lawrence, Ms. Lee, Mr. Miller, Mr. Montague, Ms. Morrison, Mrs. Nita Garvey, Mr. Paulwell, Mr. Phillips, Dr. Phillips, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Robinson, Mr. Siblist, Mr. Slowly, Mrs. Vaz, Dr. Wheatley, Mr. Williams, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wright.
This evening, before we start the sitting of the House, I just want to welcome this evening all persons who are joining us online, on air, and of course persons with us in the gallery this evening. I see students and I see other persons, and I want to welcome especially those persons in the gallery, the mayors, I've seen several of them, the councillors, persons generally who are here this evening in support of the Honourable Minister, the Honourable Desmond Mackenzie's presentation here in Parliament, as well as Mr. Graham, who speaks this afternoon. I'm going to ask you to forgive me if, I'm sure you will, if I make very special mention of my very own mayor, Mayor Colin Gager from South Trelawney. I really can't help it. This is his second term in the chair, and we're all proud of him. And there's nothing that would stop him, I know, from being here this evening. So I will want to welcome everybody who is joining us this evening, and I know you will find it an informative evening, and we all look forward to the presentations here in Parliament this evening. Statements by ministers, announcements.
Laid on the table of the House today are the following: Annual report and audited financial statements for the Jamaica Social Investment Fund for the year 2020-2021, and annual performance report of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for the year 2021-2022.
Bills brought from the Senate, petitions, papers, reports from committees, notices of motions given orally, questions and answers to questions, motions that may be made at the commencement of public business requiring notice, motions relating to sittings of the House, motions for leave to introduce bills, presentation of bills without leave of the House first obtained, public business.
Madam Speaker, today it is our intention to continue the sectoral debate, and the speakers, as you indicated earlier, will be the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, the Honourable Desmond McKenzie, and Mr. Hugh Graham, the Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Northwestern. Madam Speaker, I now invite you to ask the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development to make his presentation.
Just before the Minister starts his presentation, members, it is customary for this honourable House to allow ministers and members to complete their presentations in full. Today, as a Speaker of the House, I am reminding us that we are hearing from the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. And as we are all aware, this ministry is quite expansive, as it is responsible for a wide range of essential services, and more particularly, it facilitates the development of communities for the benefit of all citizens, inclusive of our most vulnerable in the society. Today, I'm sure we're all going to be listening, I am too, to what the Minister has in the pipeline for our constituencies. Having said all of that, and we are going to be listening, members, as members, I now ask that notwithstanding Standing Orders 3211, that allows a minister 45 minutes to complete his speech, I'm asking this House to allow the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development to commence and to continue his speech to its conclusion. Those in favour? Those against? The ayes have it. Minister, I now invite you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, let me extend courtesies to you, Madam Speaker, on the comments you just made. I am feeling a great energy as I stand to address this honorable House today. It is an energy driven by the desire to do more in service for my fellow citizens. It is also an energy that followed the decision of the government to relax the restrictions around COVID-19. Madam Speaker, members of this honorable House would appreciate that the last 2 years have been a trying and testing one for the people of Jamaica, and especially local government in terms of the effects of COVID-19. However, Madam Speaker, I have had the opportunity to returning to the highways and the byways, consulting with the people around the country, and I've never felt a sense of greater revival and a sense of a mission that as a government we have to execute after the advent of COVID, which, Madam Speaker, still remains with us. The Most Honourable Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Madam Speaker, continue to provide exceptional leadership to the Cabinet, the government, and the country. This new style of political leadership, Madam Speaker, has not yet reached its peak. Jamaica is blessed to have him as the captain of the ship. As we make the transition from the worst days of COVID to the recovery of the economy and to generate, Madam Speaker, the same prosperity that was started before COVID intervened, Madam Speaker. I am greatly honored to be a part of his administration and extremely proud of my colleagues in the Cabinet. I want to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to my hard-working and very experienced Permanent Secretary sitting in the well. She has brought a wealth of knowledge to the leadership of the ministry. The staff of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, Madam Speaker, continue to give the support, and I want to thank them because this presentation today and the tabling of this performance report, Madam Speaker, is a reflection of the dedication and commitment of the team at the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. The mayors representing both sides of the political divide who are present here. Senator, Mayor of Kingston, councillors, and all the members of the local fraternity who continue, and I want to recognize the leader of the minority within the KSMAC, Councillor Andrew Swaby, who is here in the gathering. Madam Speaker, my personal staff within the office. God knows how they put up with me sometimes, but tell you, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, I could not accomplish 90% of what I do on a daily basis without that personal team within the ministry, my personal team along with my close protection team, Madam Speaker. They have been a wonderful support staff, and I want to use the floor of the Parliament to express my appreciation, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it was 44 years ago that I was arrested and charged. 44 years of happy marriage.
Yes.
Happy marriage. That extended family, Madam Speaker, that we can't do without, Madam Speaker. And those of us in the political vineyard know what it is when you are finished out here and you can go home and you can share your problems and find comfort and rest at home, Madam Speaker. And that has been the wind beneath my wing, Madam Speaker, and the rock of love to which I cling to on a daily basis. My roots, Madam Speaker, is planted in the greatest political constituency in the English-speaking Caribbean. Madam Speaker, it is 48 years, Madam Speaker, of representing the people of West Kingston as a councillor and now as their member of Parliament. There is no praise that is too high for the people of West Kingston. Despite the challenges, Madam Speaker, they remain loyal, dedicated, committed to the cause. And I want to remind this Honourable House, Madam Speaker, that West Kingston is the only constituency in Jamaica since 1962 that has remained loyal to one political party, and that is the Jamaica Labour Party. In 3 days' time, Madam Speaker, on the 28th of May to be exact, would mark the 3rd anniversary of the passing of the Most Honourable Edward Philip George Seaga. It's also the 92nd year of his birth. And as a constituency, Madam Speaker, at this time of the year, we turn our thoughts to his work, his contribution, and we are celebrating his life work in the constituency. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the constituency, and I want to thank the Most Honourable Edward Seaga in depth for affording me this opportunity to be here today. Since March 2020, the system of local government made an effective contribution to the management of the public health protocol and to laying the foundation for the economic and social recovery at the community level. Now, in 2022 as the country emerged from the worst effects and start to adjust to living with COVID, the ministry is calling again to lead the charge to achieve long-lasting development of rural Jamaica. I feel very empowered by this mission about the work that the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development must do to bring about this change in the lives of our people. In the previous ministry, we were once the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development. We implemented changes. We had improvements to the operations and systems of governance at the local level. We provide unprecedented resources, Madam Speaker, to expand the capacity of the elected representatives to effectively serve their divisions. We made major investments in agencies of the ministry, such as the Social Development Commission, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, to make them effective organs of service. We introduced new approaches, such as water shops, address some of the long-standing challenges that our citizens endure, especially in rural Jamaica. These things and more, Madam Speaker, are still being done in the current portfolio of local government and rural development. However, there's a difference. This ministry now has a higher and wider level of service to provide to ensure that the vast majority of people of Jamaica are finally and permanently brought into the development curve. An unprecedented emphasis will be placed on rural development, Madam Speaker, as the government increase the pace of the economic and social activities. The task before us is not just to make Jamaica a whole, the place of choice to live, work, and raise family and do business, but to make this a reality for people within communities right across the country. This was recognized in 2009 when the government unveiled the Vision 2030 National Development Plan. It recognized that while the national rate of poverty was declining, rural poverty was stubbornly getting higher. It also acknowledged that if the country is to achieve development status, rural economic growth and development has to keep pace with the rate experienced in urban centers. It is important to understand that when we use the term rural, we are not just referring to hills or rivers or farmlands. Madam Speaker, approximately 44% of Jamaica's total population live in rural parts of this country. Our challenge, therefore, Madam Speaker, is to stimulate rural economic growth so that employment and income will increase, thereby reducing urban drift among a range of social problems. In this regard, we have sharply expanded access to social and productive infrastructure, such as rural electrification, water. These are ambitious plans, Madam Speaker, that was once held by many administrations before. But this Andrew Holness-led administration is a game-changing administration, Madam Speaker. We believe that the time has come to drive the policies and programs that will unchain the people of rural Jamaica from a cycle of intergenerational poverty. This is a daunting task of mammoth proportion, Madam Speaker. However, as the American poet William Arthur Ward once said, adversity caused some men to break, others to break records. Over the last 6 years, the system of local government has demonstrated that with adequate capital investment, it can both enhance, protect the lives of the people of Jamaica, with the governance and service delivery network of the local authorities established across the country. The task of rural development is a natural portfolio fit. And once again, I want to thank the Most Honorable Prime Minister for his confidence in me to lead this charge as we move with pace the recovery and the prosperity that will come for rural Jamaica, Madam Speaker. In my contribution last year, I introduced the Rural Development Program, which is designed to transform communities in various parts of the island. The pilot area selected was Chambers Pen in Western Hanover. The works scheduled for this project included water, electrical infrastructure, internet access, roads, sidewalks, community parks, indigent housing, and we use the program to give new life to rural community over the next 2 years. Madam Speaker, the progress of the work was not as fast as we want it to be, because, you know, we have to go through the process of the procurement and to ensure that we cross and dot everything in the book, Madam Speaker, because those who are saying why you're taking so long would be the same ones who question the manner in which it is done. So I rather wait, take the time to do it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are now seeing the unveiling of the first phase of rural development. We are implementing skill training program as I speak, Madam Speaker, in Chambers Pen at a cost of over $1 million run by the Social Development Commission. Madam Speaker, out of those sensitization, we discovered that there are farmers within Chambers Pen who all they need is some tools, Madam Speaker, to do the work. My colleague Minister of Agriculture, Chu Rada, has committed to assist those farmers to the tune of $2 million, Madam Speaker, as a part of a multi-government approach in Chambers Pen as we push forward rural development. Madam Speaker, social housing is also a part of the program. We are constructing 4 indigent housing units within Chambers Pen, a 2-bedroom, 2 bedrooms and 2 units, Madam Speaker, at a cost of $28 million. These units, Madam Speaker, the design and estimate have been completed, and the work is expected to start in short order. Madam Speaker, if you ever go to Chambers Pen, if you don't have jackass to go up there, don't go. Madam Speaker, the community has been neglected for years. Madam Speaker, and this administration will be spending over $100 million to improve the road network in Chambers Pen. 300 houses in the community will be wired at a cost of $27 million, Madam Speaker. A memorandum of understanding was signed with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, and the work is expected to begin at the end of this month, Madam Speaker. The community center, basic school, and primary school, Madam Speaker. When I visited the school, you have to take your time and walk, Madam Speaker. For years, Madam Speaker, decades, nothing has been done to the facility, Madam Speaker. And when I approached my colleague, Minister of Education, and I wrote her, Madam Speaker, I got a positive response. I am pleased, Madam Speaker, to announce that the tender for the contract to undertake the repairs of the Chambers Pen Primary School has come back. $20 million, Madam Speaker, has been awarded to carry out the repairs of the school. Madam Minister, I want to thank you for your support. We're going to be spending, Madam Speaker, another $4 million to renovate the basic school and community center for the use, Madam Speaker, of the community. The Chambers Pen water supply system is being implemented by our agency, Rural Water Limited, Madam Speaker, at a cost of $30 million. The contract was signed for the provision of 3.4 kilometers of pipe and fixtures, with a separate tender process for the installation of pipes. Madam Speaker, the successful bidder will be signing a contract with Rural Water before the end of this month, and we expect to commence the work in Chambers Pen on the water system by June, Madam Speaker. Through this project, approximately 1,500 residents in 300 households, Madam Speaker, will benefit from water supply from over 52 million gallons of fresh water every day, Madam Speaker. Additionally, 300 service connection to the National Water Commission Great River Treatment Plant will be installed, and we are providing, Madam Speaker, over 300 400-gallon black tanks to be delivered to each household in Chambers Pen, Madam Speaker. I am looking forward for the official groundbreaking of the water project next month. Madam Speaker, the overall cost of the investment in our first pilot project in Chambers Pen is some $223 million, Madam Speaker. This minor water supply, Madam Speaker, has benefited significantly in local government. Water was assigned to the ministry. In the last financial year, rural water supply complete a range of major projects which have connected more and more Jamaicans to pipe and potable water within their communities. These include Penance, Lucky Valley in St. Catherine, Brandon and Salt River in Portland, in Clarendon, Portland Cottage and Rocky Point, Banga Ridge in Portland, Coral Gardens, Floyd, Toledo Heights, and Stonehenge in St. James. Madam Speaker, the flagship project by Rural Water, and Madam Speaker, this is an entity that has been doing a lot of work in rural Jamaica to improve water supply, Madam Speaker. The top project, Madam Speaker, was the top Aberdeen water supply system in St. Elizabeth. The work includes the construction of a new pumping station, storage tank, installation of a solar pumping system, new distribution, transmission pipeline, Madam Speaker, at a cost of $111 million. And let me say, Madam Speaker, the work was done on time and within budget, Madam Speaker. I officially commissioned the facility in service early this year. And some 1,600 residents who never knew what it was before to have water coming out of their pipes, the Andrew Holness administration has delivered. The agency, Madam Speaker, has installed catchment tank, rainwater harvesting facility at over 30 schools, institutions, communities around the country. These include Springfield, Quickstep in St. Elizabeth, Jeffreytown, Carnal in St. Mary, and I could go. Of rural water and the work of this government led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The challenge of drought is never far in the background. In the last financial year, we weren't affected as badly as before. But despite that, Madam Speaker, some $31 million was spent on the trucking of water. This year at this time, the reality of the drought is fully in the minds of the government. To this effect, Madam Speaker, a comprehensive drought program is being put in place to address the issue of drought across the country. So, Madam Speaker, we'll be providing water trucks, and so far, 6 municipalities across the country has benefited from brand new water trucks, and we'll be providing more, Madam Speaker, so that we can help, Madam Speaker, to provide adequate water. You know, Madam Speaker, in 2019, a survey was conducted, and it showed that 70% of Jamaicans have access to water. An additional 27% of the people, Madam Speaker, who have to access water from standpipes in rural Jamaica, the survey shows that in many cases they have to walk 500 meters or more to get water. This is a challenge, and we are determined to overcome those challenges. The ministry is committed to implement the projects, the programs to expand minor water supplies across Jamaica in keeping with the national water sector implementation policy. We will improve lives, sustain livelihood, and, Madam Speaker, put more vigor into communities with modern and reliable water supply system, Madam Speaker. The question of roads, Madam Speaker, has been a burning issue. And we have seen where demonstrations are taking place over road conditions, Madam Speaker. I want to use this floor of the House to say that this government will never in any way interfere or prevent citizens from expressing their democratic rights about issues that they feel that needs national attention. It is everybody's right. And a lot of the concerns are real, Madam Speaker. We have a challenge when these real concerns take a different color. And we see actions, Madam Speaker, which put in jeopardy the recovery program of the country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this government, Madam Speaker,
we know the color.
This government, Madam Speaker, and I'm not naming nobody. So if I throw a stone and somebody scream out, that means, okay? Right. Madam Speaker, we accept, Madam Speaker, and my colleague Minister Warmington in his contribution also accepted that there is serious deterioration of our road network, Madam Speaker.
Absolutely.
And the Minister in his presentation outlined what would be required for us as a country to fully maintain, Madam Speaker.
Absolutely.
But, Madam Speaker, since 2016, this administration of Prime Minister Andrew Holness has done more on roads in this country than any other administration within the last 20 years. No one, Madam Speaker, can question, can challenge the performance of this administration when it comes on to roads. Over some 27,000 meters of roads were patched. This is local government now we're talking about. And let me make the point, Madam Speaker. Local government has the control for at least 80% of the road networks across the country. So, Madam Speaker, over some 27 meters of roads were patched. Over 52 kilometers were rehabilitated at a cost of some $245 million, Madam Speaker, separate and apart from what the councils would get out of their allocation. This was what was provided out of the Ministry of Local Government. One of these roads that were rehabilitated was done in Westmoreland on a road named Tivoli.
Good name.
Tivoli. See there?
Good name.
At a cost of $14 million, Madam Speaker. When I went there, the people, when I went there, the people say, Mr. Mackenzie, generations of us live here, sir. We never see even a bucket of tar, much less asphalt. We are going to be repairing more roads in Westmoreland, Madam Speaker. The Prime Minister made a commitment, and we are moving, Madam Speaker, to do it. But you know, I was listening to a talk show one day, and I heard a lady on the radio, Miss Velma,
From Westmoreland?
calling, complaining she's from Lennox Bigwood.
Mercy. From where?
Lennox Bigwood in Westmoreland. And, Madam Speaker, she's complaining about the conditions of the road. And she said, Madam Speaker, she tried everything and nobody would come to her rescue. And I called the program and I said to them, tell her that I will be coming there to look at the roads, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when I turn up, this is a lady that is visually impaired. She's blind, Madam Speaker. But she's one of the best farmers in the community. And she took me by my hand, Madam Speaker. And we walk the road, Madam Speaker. And let me tell you something, Madam Speaker. That road has never had anything near maintenance in over 30 years, Madam Speaker.
Shame.
Oh my God. Shame.
I am pleased, Madam Speaker, to report to Ms. Velma from the floor of this Parliament that the tender for the contract has gone out and we have received back the tender. And once, Madam Speaker, that is done, we are going to be moving to have a contract and to commence the work in that community so that the people, Madam Speaker, can feel a sense of pride and enjoy something new and different. I'm pleased to announce, Madam Speaker, that to supplement the program announced by Minister Warmington, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has formulated a parochial road patching program that will start to address the needs that exist. Working with the local authorities, Madam Speaker, we have already compiled a priority list of roads island-wide that are in need of urgent patching. The areas that will be targeted are in the urban centers in all parishes where traffic density are high, roads in large residential areas, roads that leads to essential services, roads that leads to areas of social economic importance. Madam Speaker, in this financial year, Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will be spending some $370 million on road patching and implementation of road rehabilitation for this financial year, Madam Speaker. And we're not just going to put this money here, Madam Speaker. We're using the GIS mapping system to map the roads, Madam Speaker, so that we can keep check of what is happening and to ensure. And the mayors are here. And I want to throw this out to the mayors, that we have to see value for the taxpayers' dollar. Absolutely. Not just value alone, but we want to see quality of work being done under this program, Madam Speaker. And so we are committed, Madam Speaker, in doing as much as we can to improve our road networks across the country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Social Development Commission continues to be an impressive example of what great things can be achieved once resources and encouragement is provided, Madam Speaker. And this is my 6th year or 7th presentation, and I have to repeat it. Madam Speaker, in 2016, when this administration came into office, in the budget for the Social Development Commission was zero, Madam Speaker. Zero. Not a cent, Madam Speaker, was in the budget. And the then Minister of Finance, at a function that we were in Mandeville, when I made the call, he responded, Madam Speaker, the Social Development Commission since 2016 has been giving adequate funding, Madam Speaker, and we are seeing the benefits of the work of the Social Development Commission. The Local Economic Development Support Program is the flagship of the organization. The SDC provides vital support to grassroots businesses to help them survive the economic punch from the pandemic. 149 capacity building sessions were held, which provide training and business support for over 406 local economic initiatives. These activities, Madam Speaker, generate employment of over 1,500 persons. In addition, the SDC invested over some $27 million hosting 43 community markets and business fairs, which involve a wide range of local, young, upcoming business people, Madam Speaker. This year, they made some $50 million was generated from the fair. And the SDC has targeted to support 115 small self-owned businesses across the corporate area. This is an initiative that is happening for the first time, where we have extended the program in the corporate area, Madam Speaker, and there are members on this House on both sides which are benefiting out of this program of the SDC to support local businesses in their communities across the island, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, it is in this context that it is clear that this government is placing the people at the lower level as a part, an important part of rebuilding the economy, Madam Speaker. I don't listen to foolishness when they talk.
No, sir.
Because let me tell you something, Madam Speaker. If you check the performance of this administration against many other administrations, Madam Speaker, none can walk and hold them head high about what they have done for the poor in this country. We don't just talk about the poor, Madam Speaker. We provide for the poor, Madam Speaker, and it is there for the country to see it. I am sticking to the script. Madam Speaker, I want to turn now to something as a minister that I am proud. The Jamaica Fire Brigade has maintained one of the high standards, the traditions in this country. The organization is 150 years old, Madam Speaker. And it is an organization that has served this country with distinction. And I want to use the opportunity to commend the Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade and the hard-working men and women who over the years, Madam Speaker, have worked under trying conditions in this country. Madam Speaker, when the York Park Fire Station was built, construction was started in 1947. It was completed and occupied in 1950. There are about 34 fire stations in Jamaica. The last one that was built in Falmouth when we were going to have World Cup cricket. The station was built. This country has never seen another fire station being built, Madam Speaker.
No.
Madam Speaker, since 2016, this administration has invested over $6 billion in the Jamaica Fire Brigade. We have provided equipment. We have provided buildings. We have provided trucks, Madam Speaker. We have put in the emergency medical services across the country. We are now in St. Ann, Madam Speaker. And once we have completed the survey, all the critical points in the country will have this emergency medical service provided by the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Madam Speaker. Last year, Madam Speaker, the JFB responded to 4,261 emergency calls. In this regard, they literally saved thousands of lives, Madam Speaker. In my contribution last year, I announced that the Fire Brigade would be acquiring 30 new trucks, Madam Speaker. The announcement was so bold that I had to respond to questions about the process, Madam Speaker. Thank God my hands were clean, the process were clean.
Yes.
30 new trucks, Madam Speaker. A commitment made by this government, and it was a commitment that we honored, Madam Speaker. Over $3 billion. The trucks have arrived, Madam Speaker. And for the first time at last, every fire station in Jamaica have at least one brand new fire truck working, Madam Speaker. State-of-the-art fire trucks, Madam Speaker, with the capacity to save lives, Madam Speaker. We have also put into the fleet trucks that can fight fire above a certain level in the country, Madam Speaker. The investment in our firefighters did not stop there. Some $248 million was spent in the last financial year on firefighting equipment, as well as water rescue equipment. 3 standby generators were provided, Madam Speaker. And I am happy, Madam Speaker, to say to the country that we never just talk about building fire stations.
And leaving another pipeline.
We never build one fire station, Madam Speaker. We never build 2 fire stations, Madam Speaker.
Tell them.
We never build 3 fire stations, Madam Speaker. We never build 4 fire stations, Madam Speaker.
Listen.
We build 5 fire stations in less than 5 years. Less than 5 years. And Madam Speaker, 2 weeks ago, the Most Honorable Prime Minister had the pleasure of opening the new regional headquarters of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Over $600 million, Madam Speaker. And he has a lot more work to do.
Wow.
We're going to Port Maria for the opening, and Maurice, you are welcome. The opening of the Port Maria fire station. Then we're going to move to Yalas, Madam Speaker, for the opening of the Yalas station. And a couple of weeks ago, Madam Speaker, after many years, $59 million, a new fire station in Old Harbour, after many years of neglect, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, when we talk, we don't just talk. We back it up with action, because this is a government of action, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you would be happy to hear this, Madam Speaker. The brigade have done a survey on weak spots in the country that lack fire response. And in the heart of Trelawney, between Manchester, Clarendon, and Trelawney, the nearest fire station would be Christiana or one in Clarendon. Madam Speaker, I have news for you. On Tuesday, the 17th of June, I'll be coming to Ulster Spring to break ground for the construction of a new fire station in Ulster Spring. Balaclava in St. Elizabeth, Madam Speaker. Balaclava in St. Elizabeth will be the next stop, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, despite the efforts of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, we are still seeing many crank calls being made to the brigade. While we have seen a decline in the number of calls, Madam Speaker, it is too much, Madam Speaker, and we are concerned. Madam Speaker, between 2021 and 2022, the brigade received some 15,000 emergency calls. 1,586 persons were displaced because of fire. 77 people, including 13 firefighters, was injured, and 34 people lost their lives as a result of fire. In March of this year, 2 young girls, 3 years old, lost their lives in a house fire in Clarendon. And this is something all of us, Madam Speaker. And what makes it bad, Madam Speaker, those deaths were the first 2 related fire deaths for the year 2022. Public education, Madam Speaker, will continue as the Jamaica Fire Brigade increases its effort, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to turn now to the Board of Supervision. The Board of Supervision. The welfare of our vulnerable citizens, from outdoor poor to the residents in our infirmary, increased in importance during the height of the pandemic. The work of the Board of Supervision in successfully managing the care of our brothers and sisters cannot be overstated. I must give full praise to the leadership and the full team of the BSO for its efficiency and the innovative way in which they address the problems around the vulnerable population in Jamaica. Last year, the Board of Supervision continued to ensure that the infirmary deliver care in the strictest sanitary environment to achieve optimal infection prevention control. Over 85% of all the residents were vaccinated, Madam Speaker. Visits remain suspended, and I will say, Madam Speaker, we were contemplating to resume visits to our infirmaries. But based on the outbreak that we are now experiencing, Madam Speaker, we will put that on hold and be guided by the public health experts, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, we have done so much for the poor and destitute. We have brought in physiotherapists, dietitians. We have put in a structured nutrition program within the infirmaries, Madam Speaker. Therapeutic park, Madam Speaker. We build kitchen. We build wards, Madam Speaker. We have done so much for the poor within the infirmaries, Madam Speaker. And while we can boast, Madam Speaker, about these achievements, there is a group of Jamaicans that live on our streets, Madam Speaker. The homeless. And we care about the homeless, Madam Speaker, because we have been doing a whole lot. Over 500,000 meals in the last financial year was provided by this government for the homeless population right across Jamaica, Madam Speaker. In accordance, Madam Speaker, when I was Mayor of Kingston, we took a decision, Madam Speaker, to build what we call a drop-in facility for persons living on the street, Madam Speaker. We started the process in 2009. After the elections of 2011, and I became member of parliament, the project died a natural death. Although, Madam Speaker, we had secured $20 million to commence the work on the project, Madam Speaker.
What?
Shame.
Well, you know, Madam Speaker, they said nothing never happened before the time. And I made a solemn commitment to this House that we must, Madam Speaker, provide adequate shelter for persons living on the street, Madam Speaker.
Absolutely.
And working closely with Mayor Williams and the KSMAC,
Yes.
we put in a temporary one down at Church Street during COVID.
Yes.
And that one is going to remain, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this Friday, Madam Speaker,
Yes.
the most honorable Prime Minister
Yes.
will officially open for the first time in the history of Jamaica
Transformational.
a facility to cater for the needs of persons living on the streets of Jamaica.
Transformational.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, in the parish of St. Anne, one is under construction now as I speak in St. Anne.
Yes.
In the parish of Trelawney, Madam Speaker, one is under construction in Trelawney. Yeah, and it is the intention, Madam Speaker, of this administration to provide every parish
Yes.
with a drop-in facility, a shelter where the street people can go, have a rest, get shelter, Madam Speaker, and take care. Madam Speaker, we're not just talking, Madam Speaker. We are doing, Madam Speaker. And I want to commend and thank the Minister of Finance.
Yes.
Because when we call out to the Minister of Finance, he responded in a positive way to the call of the poor and destitute, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, we're building.
That's why you spoke yesterday.
We're building indigent houses, Madam Speaker.
Yes. I got one.
There is a join-up approach with the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. We're going to be providing not board structure, concrete structure, Madam Speaker.
Transformational.
And these are housing, Madam Speaker, see one there?
Yes.
If you lift that up and carry tell you you're up in St. Andrew, you have to ask $15 or $16 million for that. We are building that for less than $4 million for the poor and destitute of this country, Madam Speaker. And so, Madam Speaker, again, this is a government that just don't talk. We perform. Action speaks louder than word. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, I want to turn now to a program that has been hailed as one of the best moved by local government. In 2017, Madam Speaker, we launched what is known as the Youth Summer Employment Program, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, the Youth Summer Employment Program created employment, positive employment for young people right across the country. Last year, Madam Speaker, when we launched in Portland, over 6,000 Jamaicans, young people from across the political divide, benefited from the Youth Summer Employment Program. Some of these young people, Madam Speaker, were retained by the local authorities.
Wow, that's nice.
And have now gained permanent employment within the local authorities, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we intend to continue the program this year.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, and hopefully we are looking to improve on the numbers. But what I can say to councillors and members of parliament who have benefited, this program is here to stay because we have seen the benefits of the program for young people across the country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, ADPEM, continue to make efforts on the national level during the COVID experience, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management is the flagship organization that steers the country during disaster period, Madam Speaker. While there are challenges, Madam Speaker, the organization is going through some changes, and we are now present looking at the structure of the organization to see how we can improve the organization and to make it more efficient, Madam Speaker. But despite the challenges, Madam Speaker, of the organization, they continue to provide valuable service, Madam Speaker. And because of Jamaica's involvement and the importance, Madam Speaker, of our role in disaster, last year, November, Madam Speaker, Jamaica had the privilege and honor in hosting the United Nations 7th Regional Platform on Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas and the Caribbean. Despite the virtual nature of the event, there was tremendous public interest through the region and across the world. And over some 2,500 persons participated using the digital platform, Madam Speaker, and over 35,000 people across the world participated in the 30 sessions that was held using social media and live stream. It is important that the Parliament notes it was the first time that an English-speaking country was given the honor of hosting such a prestigious conference, and Jamaica was the first. Jamaica, Madam Speaker, also introduced for the first time a youth forum on disaster risk reduction. And because of the input that the young people created, we became the first region to host a youth conference. We became the first region and the first country to have young people addressing the opening session of the conference. And most importantly, Madam Speaker, Jamaica was invited, the youth representative of Jamaica was invited to attend and address the ministerial high-level authority meeting. This is a first because of Jamaica's importance in disaster, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this has confirmed our standing on the international stage and reaffirmed the high consideration and respect that this country enjoys throughout the region and beyond. Madam Speaker, ADPEM is at the point now where we are focusing on preparations for the hurricane season. We are very thankful that none occurred last year. At the same time, Madam Speaker, I wish to advise the Honourable House that the disaster fund is steadily climbing. It now stands at some $300 $180 million. In addition, Madam Speaker, the drafting policies and plans over the last financial year for the ADPEM will reflect the government's work, Madam Speaker, as we develop the ADPEM to do great things. The ADPEM, Madam Speaker, has teamed up with Flow and has teamed up with Digicel, who have become partners in supporting their efforts through sponsorship, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank Flow and Digicel for the support that they are giving to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management. But, Madam Speaker, there are some important facts that this House must hear. Yes. I want us to listen.
We're listening.
In addition, Madam Speaker, to the hurricane season, the challenge of the changing pattern and the climatic events, including seasonal rains, and the resulting impact on the infrastructure, the placement of early warning signs in areas well known to be vulnerable to flooding is a key component of the work of ADPEM. Madam Speaker, we saw what happened in Montego Bay a couple of weeks ago. And our heart goes out. And it is important, Madam Speaker, that the country understands and recognizes when you see flooding, don't try to cross it. Please, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, a number of areas have been identified for the erection of early warning signs, Madam Speaker. Benson Fording in Kingston will have the sign installed. Port Maria in St. Mary, Member Guy, and Holly Bridge in Clarendon, Madam Speaker, will benefit from this, Madam Speaker.
Thanks.
When?
Thanks.
Just cool, man. Easy. Easy. Madam Speaker, as a small island developing state, the protection of people in coastal areas from tsunami is of great importance to ADPEM. In partnership with the Intergovernmental Coordinated Group of Subsidiaries of UNESCO, the International Tsunami Information Center of the Caribbean has collaborated to strengthen early warning response mechanism. As a result, tsunami plans, templates, and standard operating procedures were developed, including tsunami response plan, standard operation procedure for vulnerable communities. Community like Old Harbour, Madam Speaker, in St. Catherine, is a part of an important partnership with ADPEM. There's also implementing tsunami readiness pilot recognition technical program. This program is designed to ensure and recognize communities, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, the news I want to give Member of Parliament Warmington is that Old Harbour has now been officially designated as a tsunami-ready community in Jamaica. Also, Madam Speaker, the UNESCO, Madam Speaker, has also moved accordingly to register Port Maria in St. Mary to become Jamaica's second tsunami-ready community member. The bilateral arrangements between the government of Jamaica and the Japanese on the JICA project has been going well, Madam Speaker. And I want to use the floor of this Parliament again to express the thanks and appreciation on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica to the Japanese government for their assistance in improving the technology and the communication system of the country. Madam Speaker, I now turn to the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Madam Speaker, this organization continues to be a prime example of efficiency and dedication. No commendation is too high for this agency, which has not only turned its performance around, but in challenging circumstances has maintained high standards of management and corporate governance. I must specifically commend the truck drivers and the street sweepers for the high level of dedication they continue to demonstrate. And I must also advise the House that all sweepers and sidemen, drivers, receive their retroactive payment and receive a one-off payment of 40,000 as well as a 4% increase, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the agency collected over some 900,000 tons of waste in the last financial year. Up, Madam Speaker, that was developed in 2021 to report littering in public space and illegal dumping continue to generate significant support. With the assistance of the app, the authority was made aware. I want you all to listen to this, The app allowed the NSWMA to discover over 300 illegal dump sites across the island. Investigation into 194 of them has been concluded. As a result, Madam Speaker, and I hear people talking about the state of the country with garbage collection. Madam Speaker, nobody can deny that there's a breakdown of garbage collection. And we all know why. Because if we had the 100 trucks that was committed, Madam Speaker, some of the arguments that we're hearing now, we wouldn't be hearing those arguments, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, this country, Madam Speaker, need to take a stand. Is it lip service we're giving, or we want to genuinely see a clean country, Madam Speaker? I have not heard anybody within organizations encouraging communities to dispose of their garbage. Every day you beat up on solid waste, say they're not doing the job. Madam Speaker, if this government provide a garbage truck for every community in Jamaica, it will not change. The minds of the people have to change first, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me tell you, I pass that gully that runs between Minister Samoud and Minister Clark. And let me tell you something, Madam Speaker. It is a national disgrace, Madam Speaker. And there are persons in this country who believe that if I dump my garbage in the gully and in the drain, it is going to generate jobs. Not over my dead body. It is not going to happen. You're not going to stick up this government because of nastiness, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this government has done everything in its power to provide trucks, to improve conditions, Madam Speaker. We need the buy-in. And the negative arguments, Madam Speaker, when we go out there and we criticize the MSWMA, we are not suggesting and begging our constituents to dispose of garbage in the way that it ought to be done, Madam Speaker. As a country, we need to have some civic pride. Yesterday, Yesterday, Madam Speaker, I had a meeting with the president of the PSOJ, along with mayors and officials, to discuss problems within the country. We spoke about a number of issues. It is not just the disposal of garbage, Madam Speaker, that is creating a problem for the country. We're seeing where developers carrying out construction has taken all of our sidewalks, our bus stops. They deposit the sand, the gravel on the ground. The public cannot access the roadways, Madam Speaker. The sidewalks are taken. Madam Speaker, we had a very positive meeting yesterday. Used car dealers, Madam Speaker, they don't need warm lots again. No. They use the sidewalks, our roads. Madam Speaker, I am using the floor of this parliament to say that I want Jamaica to join us in returning public order back to our streets, Madam Speaker. We need to get back, Madam Speaker. And we are committed to work with the PSOJ. We're not just running in just like that. We call and we're having engagement, Madam Speaker, yes, because the country collectively must respond. We welcome developments. This government supports developments. But we want it to be done in an orderly and a structured way so that you don't, Madam Speaker, construction are taking place in the dead of night. People are casting concrete 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the mornings. Madam Speaker, the local authorities is not in a position to monitor these events, Madam Speaker. We need a rallying cry from the Jamaican people, and I am urging the Jamaican people to let us start in the 60th year of our independence to return public order to the streets of Jamaica, Madam Speaker. We can do it. We can do it.
Very good.
Madam Speaker, I will have a lot more to say on it because the Prime Minister has tasked me with the responsibility of heading a ministerial team consisting of Minister Green, Minister Warmington, Minister Charles, and Minister Samuda to look at a national cleanup program for the country, Madam Speaker. And Prime Minister, I am going to extend an invitation to a member of the opposition to sit with us, Madam Speaker, to give suggestions as to how we, Madam Speaker, can really tackle this problem, Madam Speaker. Jamaica, Madam Speaker, must be more matured in how we are doing and operating things, Madam Speaker. And this is what this government is about. And not for us to play politics. I was pleased, Madam Speaker, to listen to the Labour Day message coming from the leader of the opposition when he spoke the similar language that I'm speaking about having our own personal commitment as to how we dispose of garbage in the country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, the anti-litter and building laws are high on the government agenda. And I am pleased to report to the House and to the member that the documents are now at the legal drafts, and I will be coming shortly for us to debate and to put in place measures that will help to curb. Right? But I want to say to the country, let us not go that way. Let us respond as responsible and decent Jamaicans, Madam Speaker, the 50 new trucks that will come, member from Southwest Clarendon, the process have started, and those new trucks will be in the system once we have completed the procurement, and you know it go. Yes, you know it go.
Well, you will know. You will know forever.
So we are now completing that process, Madam Speaker, and we are now moving, Madam Speaker, to ensure that the country is on track, Madam Speaker, for us to do the things that are necessary. So, Madam Speaker, the National Solid Waste Management Authority is the organization that has that responsibility. And I want to commend the board led by Dennis Strong and the executive director, Audley Gordon, and the team, because they are committed, they are out there working. They are accessible, Madam Speaker. You can call them any hours of the night, and you find them. That is what public service is all about. And let nobody, Madam Speaker, try to diminish the value of the organization.
Yes.
Because for many years, they lack what is required to carry out the job, Madam Speaker. And we put them in a position when we gave them 63 new trucks in less than 4 years.
How many do they have for?
Less than 5.
Oh.
Less than 5 when we came in office in 2016. So, Madam Speaker, better days are ahead for the National Solid Waste Management Authority. But we need the country to buy it. Madam Speaker, a comprehensive review on renovation of markets will begin this year.
Oh, yes.
We'll be paying greater attention to our markets this year, especially in the context of rural development. We have heard the pleas of the vendors for better facility from which they can conduct business. We recognize them as important players in the economic life of the country. And while a number of markets are being repaired and rehabilitated, Madam Speaker, Phase 3, the last phase of the Clarkstown market, has been completed, Madam Speaker. And I will be in Clarkstown on the 16th of June to officially open and hand over a brand new Clarkstown market that was built, Madam Speaker. Hope well in and over, Madam Speaker, despite the fact that we don't talk much about what we're doing for markets. Hope well in and over, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
A brand new market has been completed in Hopewell in Hanover. And we're going to be moving, Madam Speaker, to ensure that this market come on stream as quickly as possible. So, Madam Speaker, I know the vendors are hurting. The conditions in our markets leave a lot to be desired. 90% of our markets were built more than 100 years ago, Madam Speaker. Some have lost its usefulness because of its location. But we are not just going to throw away money just like that, Madam Speaker, to carry out repairs. We have to ensure that the investment that we are making, Madam Speaker, will earn the results, and that is why we are taking our time to do what is necessary to ensure that the public will benefit from whatever investment is made in our markets across the country. Madam Speaker, I want to turn to streetlights. And there is a portion of the presentation, Madam Speaker, on streetlights that is worrying to me. And I'll come to it, but I just want to get it out of the system quickly. Meaningful investment in our physical infrastructure must include maintenance and expansion of the country's network of streetlights. There are still many issues to overcome to ensure that our roads are adequately and reliably and effectively lit, so that our citizens can feel safe. They are receiving value for money. In the last financial year, the JPS charged the government, the people of Jamaica, $2 $2,913 billion for streetlights, for the provision of streetlights. Madam Speaker, I am pleased to tell this House that the bill was paid in full. Yeah. We don't owe JPS any money for streetlights.
Well done.
We pay an average of $243 million, Philip, on a monthly basis for streetlights. Well, but remember, it is high because more lights are coming onto the system. Okay? We are installing more streetlights now. Madam Speaker, the reality remains, however, that not all the streetlights are working. The local authorities and the citizens who fall within these areas across the country deserve better. We have been meeting with JPS. I promised in my last presentation about the meeting. We have met, and the consultations, MP from East Kingston is still going on. The company installed some 725 new streetlights, which is 358 short of the target of 1,083. With regards to repairs, the JPS reported that over some 13,000 lights were repaired between April 21 and March 2022. Madam Speaker, the issue of value for money brings to me a serious and worrying subject: the theft of street lamps. Madam Speaker, we have the breakdown of where the theft have taken place, from parish to divisions. Unscrupulous people are preying on the network all over the country, Madam Speaker. In the last financial year, 723 streetlights were stolen. JPS spent $303,660,000 US, over 47 million Jamaican dollars to replace them. The taxpayer of this country must know, Madam Speaker, that the average cost of replacing one street light is $420 US, Madam Speaker. Now, I want you to listen to this. Chesterfield Main Road in St. Andrew is the site that is of concern. 32 lights, along with 3,300 meters of service wire, was stolen on 3 separate occasions, Madam Speaker. 3 separate occasions, at a cost of over $50,000 US, Madam Speaker. JPS is reporting that the lights along the Chesterfield Main Road has been stolen for the 4th time, Madam Speaker, at a cost of $16,000 US to replace them. The second example, Madam Speaker, is the Elsha Main Road in St. Catherine, where 15 lights, 1,500 meters of service wire were stolen all at once in one night, Madam Speaker. These lamps and wires cost over $7,000 US. It is clear that these criminal acts require the police response. It is not the responsibility for the constabulary alone, Madam Speaker. all of us as Jamaicans, Madam Speaker, because somebody must do something, Madam Speaker. It is the taxpayers of this country. It is the taxpayers of this country, Madam Speaker, that has to foot these expenses, because the JPS somehow will have to recover the cost, Madam Speaker. And if the lights are not there, then you hear people call and complain that there is no light. The country needs to know that this is happening, not just in the corporate area, but right across Jamaica. It is happening, Madam Speaker. And that is why when the JPS said they put up these lights, they can't find them. But Madam Speaker, let us accept that this is a major issue for the country, Madam Speaker, a major issue. Madam Speaker, in winding up, I spoke many times, Madam Speaker, about the essential and the initial role of the local authorities in daily life. Their values go far beyond providing service support in their parishes. There's a general misconception that is all they do and that there's nothing sophisticated about the work of the local authorities. I want to dismiss this by citing one example of the role of the local authorities in disaster risk reduction. And Madam Speaker, when the councils perform and do well, you must give them credit for doing well. Not everything is bad, Madam Speaker. And I want you to listen to this. Jamaica is a signatory to the Sendai Framework for Action 2015 to 2030. We have made significant progress in implementing its target. Target E measures the number of countries and local actors that have implemented disaster reduction risk strategy. Jamaica is one of nearly half of the country in this region that has a disaster risk reduction plan, policies, and programs in place. Last year, the local authority, who have been a critical player in this, Madam Speaker, last year, the local authorities became the official signatory to Making the City Resilient 2030, an initiative. Madam Speaker, Jamaica is the first and only country in the world, Madam Speaker, that have all local government authorities join the initiative, Madam Speaker. Jamaica, the local authorities, the councils, and this is a tremendous achievement, Madam Speaker, which they must be commended for. Madam Speaker, the local authorities have been carrying out their responsibilities over the last 2 years without the benefit of their usual own source revenue stream, in particular amusement license for the provisions of entertainment. Unquestionable, the recovery of the financial position is an important objective of the municipal corporation. Of equal importance, it is the improvement and expansion of their capacity to regulate the activities that fall under their purview. One of these is the construction industry. Madam Speaker, we have seen in the public domain issues surrounding building approvals. And as I said before, that was a part of the meeting we had with the PSOJ yesterday, where collectively we are going to be pooling our responses to work to improve, Madam Speaker, the deliverables. But Madam Speaker, in the last financial year, over 4,000 building permits were issued, valued at $130.6 billion, Madam Speaker, revenues earned by the local authorities issuing building fees, Madam Speaker. This is a 24% increase over the total number of building permits issued in 2020-21 financial year. 83% of these permits issued were done so within the benchmark of the 90 days that is required, Madam Speaker. They must be commended for it because they deserve it, they work hard. In the last financial year, 4,542 applications for permit were received, reflecting an investment value of 171.5 billion. This again is an 11% increase over the number of applications submitted in the previous financial year. The vast majority of applications submitted, 89%, was for residential developments. Of this percentage, 63 reflected small residential projects, with the remaining 26 being large residential projects. One of the administration's greatest priority when we took office in 2016 was to raise the standard of accountability and governance within the local authorities. We have improved that, Madam Speaker. The oversight of the local authorities through better and more frequent auditing by the ministry. And I want to use the Parliament to say thanks to the Auditor General's Department, who has been working closely with the ministry to improve the level of compliance from all the local authorities. They have come a long way, and I look forward to continuing the relationship with the Office of the Administrator General as we move to ensure full compliance with all the rules that governs local government system. Madam Speaker, there's still a lot more to be done, and we are working assiduously to ensure, Madam Speaker, that the standards of local government is improved under the system that we know of. Madam Speaker, it is publicly known that in February this year, the Parliament approved a motion to name Portmore as Jamaica's 15th parish. A submission in this respect is also ready for the consideration of the Cabinet, after which instructions will be given for a bill to be drafted for the parliamentary review, Madam Speaker. I look forward to this historic development, which, when it occurs, will be the first time that a parish would have been created in Jamaica since 1867, and this will be done by a government led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, I share a sense of personal relief that the Most Honourable Prime Minister in the budget debate spoke about the measures as it relates to COVID-19. The government has shifted into high gear, and a buzz of activities happening across the country. It is a great feeling to be back in the communities, interacting with our stakeholders and responding directly to their suggestions and concerns. We are eager to get past the recovery phase and resume focus on prosperity, Madam Speaker. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will make even a stronger contribution to the transformation of Jamaica. We want to erase the experience of people walking for miles to get water. That is why the drive to increase minor water supply is being accelerated this year with the completion of water shops in Commodore in Portland and Myersville in St. Elizabeth. That is why we are building more water shops in Manchester, Mile Gully, Porus, Somerset, and Johns Hall. This year we will complete a wide range of water supply projects at Water Mountain, Pear Tree Grove in St. Catherine, Cornwall Barracks, Bangor Ridge Phase 2, and Stony Hill in Portland. We go to St. Mary, we go to St. Elizabeth, we go to Mango Valley in St. Mary. Madam Speaker, all of this at a cost of $215 million under the Andrew Holness Rural Development Upgrade Program, Madam Speaker. The government is listening to the call for better parochial roads. The answer from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is to provide funds to carry out the repairs. Many residents in Jamaica want to be properly connected to the electric grid, but cannot afford the cost of house wiring in some areas. Infrastructure such as streetlight pole is insufficient. That is why this year, through the Rural Electrification Program, we'll be spending over $300 million to erect 10 kilometers of additional pole lines and connect 2,000 households across 10 communities to get electricity, Madam Speaker. We will be building at least 11 new concrete indigent housing in St. Mary, Hanover, and Westmoreland this year. Additionally, the joint initiative with the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, an unprecedented 120 social housing units will be built in various parts of Jamaica this year, Madam Speaker, by the Prosperity Government. Rural development, indeed development anywhere, is not only about economic matters and civic pride, and a symbol of civic pride are also important. In keeping with our 60th year of independence, sites of historical importance in our municipality will be chosen as legacy projects, refurbished to the full glory, Madam Speaker, that they so deserve in this our 60th year. The government will implement special project to clean landscape as a part of the official recognition of Jamaica 60. A special interministerial committee, as I had said earlier on, has been set, and that committee will meet. And as I said, member from Southwest, we will ask for a rep to sit with us when we get into the discussions. Okay, now, under the Paint the City initiative, Madam Speaker, and this again is a game changer, Madam Speaker. You want to go to Brownstown in St. Anne? You want to go into Lucy? You want to go into Hopewell, into downtown, Madam Speaker? Under this program, Madam Speaker, we are looking to improve our urban space. We have partnered with Jerry and Neville, and Mayor Williams is there. You go to Crab Circle at Heroes Park, looks spanking nice and pretty. We are partnering to improve, Madam Speaker, public spaces across the country. We're going to Brownstown. We're going to St. Anne. We're going to Lucy. We are spending funds, Madam Speaker, right across to transform spaces in Jamaica to give it a facelift. Over some $298 million will be spent on this program. This is the 7th occasion which I've had the honor of addressing this House as the Minister responsible for local government. I am refreshed, ready, eager to continue the work, the system of local government, to use the opportunity given to me to change rural Jamaica in an historic way. The task before me is huge, but I am confident that I can and will be able to do it. The former President of the U.S., Barack Obama, said, "The future rewards those who press on." Madam Speaker, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I am going to press on, Madam Speaker, because I've been given a job of work to do, and I want to do it to the best of my ability, Madam Speaker. I call on every Jamaican to play his or her part in speeding up the process of the national recovery, in helping to bring back a strong sense of public order, to bring back a general sense of civic pride, to restore a strong sense of personal responsibility. These attributes are within us, Madam Speaker. All we need, all of them, in order to move from recovery to lasting prosperity. Armed with these qualities, along with the blessings of the Almighty, there is no achievement that is too great, no mountain too high for the people of Jamaica. May God bless this beautiful country. And in this, our 60th year of independence, Madam Speaker.
Excellent, excellent. Good. Look like Eastern and over, get away, Western and over.
You saying the approval, you? Yes, man. You saying the PM approval, you? The watch on this. Well done.
Members, I call upon the opposition spokesperson, Mr. Hugh Graham. And I just before you begin, let me use this opportunity to thank the Honourable Minister, Mr. Mackenzie, for a fulsome and detailed report of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. I'm sure we all found it informative and welcomed all that was being done. I was, for what comes to South Trelawney. Thank you very much, Minister.
Madam Speaker, may I have your permission to speak from another other than my seat? Thank you. Madam Speaker, I rise to make my second contribution to these sectoral debates in this Honourable House of Representatives. In doing so, I'd like to express my gratitude first and foremost to the Almighty for His continued spiritual guidance and His mercies as He worked with me to make Jamaica and myself a place that we love, the pristine destination to live, to work, to raise families, and to do business. I thank you, my family, headed by my praying mother. For the unwavering support throughout the years. Madam Speaker, I recognize that many people who have allowed me to make this presentation through their dedicated service and their spirit of volunteerism. Madam Speaker, this includes Madam Speaker, your conduct of the weekly parliamentary proceedings, which guides the work in various sittings and the activities through your patience and understanding. In fact, based on my research, you are the 15th Speaker of the House of Representatives and only the second female to occupy this position after Violet Nielsen of the PNP 1997 to 2000. My profound thanks to the Leader of Opposition, Mark Golding, for affording me the opportunity to serve Jamaica in this capacity. Indeed, Madam Speaker, I have the distinction of leading a constituency that has never lost an election, whether parliamentary or local, under the leadership of my immediate predecessor, the 7-star General Robert Bobby Pickersgill Oti. We on this side of the House say, Chairman for life. Madam Speaker, to my councillors, divisional representatives, and constituents, my family in Northwest St. Catherine, also my supporting team, my profound thanks. I have received your unwavering support, and I will continue to serve for as long as you afford me the opportunity. I want to acknowledge my parliamentary colleagues on both sides of the floor in this honourable House. Despite the occasional differences in opinion, respect is due. Madam Speaker, I consider these debates as extremely valuable and for the proper functioning of our democracy, because they create an excellent opportunity to dissect policy and to ensure that Jamaica moves forward based on what is sound, practical, and cost-effective. I hope, therefore, that we do not allow these debates to become a talk shop where policy goals and initiatives are only discussed and never attained. Madam Speaker, it is up to the country's political executive at the level of the Cabinet to ensure that the legislature is not merely engaging in the luxury of idle talk. Therefore, as we discuss the people's business, and in my case, the science, commerce, and technology portfolio, I am mindful of this responsibility. I now move to the meat of the matter. Digital transformation. Madam Speaker, the past 2 years have been among the most challenging for mankind globally. The pandemic has forced us to recognize that digital transformation is not an option, it is a must. From now on, this must be our focus. I pause to remind the Honourable House of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, MSET, Vision 2030 objective to build a globally competitive information, communication and technology, ICT sector with broad accessibility to generate the greatest possible contribution to social and economic development. Madam Speaker, I'm in full support of this vision. However, what does it mean to us when we're speaking of a globally competitive information, communication, and technology sector? The concept of a digital transformation does not equal technology, because that is only a part of the equation. Digital transformation is about changing people, culture, and the processes within an institution or an organization. Digital transformation changes everything. The most basic data are designed to connect users and enable them to access various resources like the internet. However, without connections, a network cannot function. Hence, the catalytic role of digital connectivity is a utility of the 21st century. As we have seen, the COVID-19 pandemic, it is a crucial tool, both in response and recovery. However, Madam Speaker, we are still at the beginning of this process. Madam Speaker, in my first sectoral debate, I pointed to the urgency of Jamaica's situation. I suggested that the member for West Portland, who holds the position of Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, MSET, that we require a leapfrog strategy to create an entire ecosystem around connectivity. This same concept was expressed by the Rwandan President, the Honorable Paul Kagame, during his visit to Jamaica. He briefly stated the importance of understanding the need for connectivity that delivers efficiency across all sectors of society by supporting innovation and everything else that makes the community thrive. This was echoed too by our own Prime Minister in describing our society's digital transformation, which he says will be the next frontier of our development. Again, Madam Speaker, we are just at the beginning of this process. Jamaica is not short on analysis of digital transformation benefits. Indeed, Jamaica is not short on reviews, policies, and even recommendations. However, we are short on having the insight on timely implementation and instituting such strategies to create a roadmap for success. Hindsight is 2020 vision, Madam Speaker. Had we invested in building an advanced digital society before the COVID-19 pandemic that provided services such as electronic voting, online learning and management of schools, and a robust digital administration to handle the functions of governance and healthcare, when the COVID-19 pandemic came, this investment would have paid off. Jamaica's digital public service would have continued primarily uninterrupted. At the start of COVID-19 pandemic, Jamaica declared a state of emergency, closed its borders, and implemented a complete lockdown to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. After the initial few weeks and public relations, we became reactive, scrambling to deal with the school closures and the disruption to vital economic and social services. Digital classrooms, online teaching materials, and a wide range of online public services were foreign to us. We had no experience, just fishing in the dark. As far as our school system is concerned, we struggled with learning loss and scrambling to find redemption strategies for approximately 25,000 students 2 years later. Some of them have been unaccounted for since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Education cannot find them. They have disappeared. They have vanished. Over the period, the schools have had little or no regular contact with some students, who represent almost 25% of enrollment in public, primary and secondary schools. Madam Speaker, what has happened to their right to education? From the data we have, most of them did not have access, could not afford it, and in some cases, their household was too chaotic for learning. Therefore, their basic needs were not met. But we are not alone, as just about 3 billion people worldwide were offline. The pandemic exposed the underbelly of our digital divide. Madam Speaker, as we revealed our great digital inequality and lack of access for a vulnerable population and the broad masses of our people, we could say, Madam Speaker, that we are digitally poor. To blame COVID-19 for all our setbacks is wrong. We are guilty of being neglectful and reactive. And with this game changer, the proverbial phrase, we dropped the ball. In 2013, yeah, they dropped the ball. In 2013, the Tablets in School program began as a pilot project by the then Minister Philip Palwell. Big up, Minister. And 30,000 tablets were distributed to students across the island. There was also investment in training our teachers in digital education and internet safety. Among the program's goals was digitizing all education materials and ensuring free digital education tools to support other education systems. In 2020, when the pandemic landed, we would have been at a stage to hand over computers and tablets to students and teachers to access the virtual classroom from home. Jamaica should have had digital resilience extending to higher education. Madam Speaker, Jamaica would be steps ahead, especially during the pandemic, if such a program continued. I acknowledge the challenges in rolling out a digital infrastructure, despite the potential that connectivity can enable. But, Madam Speaker, successful implementation of any infrastructure requires a comprehensive and strategic approach, even more so for the digital infrastructure. Unlike other traditional infrastructure sectors, digital infrastructure requires coordination across moving parts to balance the rights of landowners, policy, and legislation to ensure that no one is left behind, and to provide equitable access as well as to ownership of devices. Public-private partnerships and trust in public institutions are the secrets of digitization success. Our Jamaican people will embrace the digital revolution if it is transparent, fair, and to the benefit of all. Madam Speaker, I'm cognizant of the work carried out by the Minister in providing an update to this Honourable House on the activities being undertaken by MSET. The report said of the community Wi-Fi hotspots, 101 of the 198 sites in this phase have been established. Tanisha from the hills of Ty Dixon says, thank you, Minister. However, Madam Speaker, the people of Jamaica await the completion of the remaining promised 88 sites. Minister, we also await the completion of the public Wi-Fi hotspots across the country. In addition, we patiently await on the community access points across the island. In the meantime, it would be unfair not to recognize the progress under the theme of inclusivity and diversity in providing connectivity to 3 sites to support the disabled community. While we acknowledge the efforts of the Minister, we are still just at the stage of connectivity, and not all communities have digital access. 1 year ago, I pointed to the gaps that most remote rural communities had no access to internet. Unfortunately, this situation has not changed. They still have not received any digital access. Madam Speaker, we earnestly await the completion of the distribution of grant vouchers to students to purchase laptops and tablets under the Tablet Laptop in Schools program. Madam Speaker, this is now 2 years into the pandemic, and the program to provide electronic devices has not yet been completed to facilitate the needs of our students. Yes, face-to-face has resumed, but the learning loss of our Jamaican students remain a critical concern. Notwithstanding all of this, I still wish to thank you and to encourage the Minister and his team to continue in the path of positive efforts which can only redound to the benefit of all. With such a resolve, whatever task may be undertaken can only reap rich rewards. But, Madam Speaker, we're slow to progress and have not fully bridged the digital inequality. Madam Speaker, we must draw on first principles and utilize alternative modalities such as satellite connectivity designed to provide broadband service with equitable geographic distribution. Satellite cannot and does not replace fiber optic plans. It augments, it complements, and it supports it. It prevents those communities from getting left behind. Madam Speaker, reasoning from the first principles can allow us the ability to eliminate the existing digital divide with the use of aerial fiber that can be deployed in the rural areas to provide affordable broadband to all. I commend the Jamaica Public Service in supporting the National Broadband Initiative in this aspect. This technological innovation can allow digital connectivity to reach areas like Top Hill, Ty Dixon, and Wandebolas that are already covered by electricity. The current connectivity frontier could be shifted thanks to a more cost-effective deployment of digital connectivity infrastructure to reach unserved and underserved communities with the use of satellite connectivity, aerial fiber, or the entity of small satellite constellations. Madam Speaker, we have yet to hear from the Minister on his plans to bring connectivity to these remote rural communities. This plan should be a part of the project's budget in considering rural communities' needs, priorities, and decisions. I urge the Minister to be visionary in his approach to national development. Thus, this project should encourage the submission of project proposals that deploy future-proof infrastructure. Madam Speaker, I also have another great concern that is even wider than the scope of broadband deployment. While these proposals are laudable, far too much attention is directed to deployment and not enough to broadband adoption and use. Broadband is the input of business development, so deployment should signal a more robust demand. Madam Speaker, I want to say this sincerely to the Minister. The introduction of broadband into a community without its key components will not help. So policies should be tailored for digital literacy, not just availability to these communities, which should be a significant part of this initiative. Madam Speaker, we must ensure that any broadband infrastructure deployed will have the ability to evolve, sustain, and scale for future advanced services that will also be important to the Jamaican economy. In the years ahead, emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and telemedicine will require broadband networks capable of delivering much faster speeds and higher reliability, such as 5G. But we need to get the basics right. Even though 5G is the way of the future, research suggests that by 2025, 56% of all mobile subscribers worldwide and 65% of all subscribers will still be using a 4G connection. A further 12% of users will still be relying on 2G or 3G technologies. However, the coverage of 4G networks is minimal. These networks cover only 9% of our population. I have reviewed the 2030 visionary operational plans outlined by the Minister, but still, it does not clearly state the for connectivity in rural areas. We all seek broadband coverage with great urgency. Still, as the opposition spokesman, I have to emphasize that we have more than an ordinary obligation to advocate for a more significant investment in the people of Jamaica. Accordingly, there will be no justification for hastened deployment to this initiative without a sound and detailed review of the above concerns before being tabled in Parliament. I now move to charging ahead. Madam Speaker, it is insufficient to provide access alone. We need meaningful connectivity defined as quality service. Madam Speaker, it would allow me and my fellow Jamaicans to drive from Kingston to Linstead without calls being dropped. We need to ensure individuals and businesses can prosper in our growing digital economies and societies, including enabling bandwidth-heavy requirements such as remote working and distance learning. Madam Speaker, affordability is also an important consideration. This includes both the affordability of data connections and the affordability of devices. More significant, though, is the digital infrastructure financing gap. I speak here to the difference between the funding required to achieve the needs of the digital economy and the actual investment being made. We cannot allow this gap to increase. Tackling this will require significant government effort to drive private sector investments. These challenges could have a tangible impact on economic growth, including supporting innovation. For example, it may reduce the opportunities to build technology focus and export-led industries around emerging technologies and other developments. It could limit the ability of governments to meet the needs of citizens by hampering public sector digitization and reducing the extent of digital public service delivery. Let me move into sustaining digital transformation. Madam Speaker, I cannot emphasize that access is about much more than technological innovation. Digital access results from decades of investment and experimentation and is much more than technology. At the heart of digital transformation lies trust in the public institutions and a belief among the citizens that everyone will reap the reward of technological progress. Such broad support is one of the crucial factors leading to a digital revolution, with lessons and that offers inspiration for the rethinking of public services for a more resilient future. Madam Speaker, the key ingredient is trust. The people of Jamaica need to trust their government to build a digital system that would serve all of us. It is inevitable that a digital revolution will give rise to economic and social development. However, it goes beyond the scope of just economic progress. It is about establishing a vibrant democracy. The aim is to create a society with more transparency, trust, and efficiency. Partnerships has been essential to many of these successes. This includes partnerships between the public and private sectors, particularly local authorities and digital connectivity providers. However, more widely and reflecting the international dimension of connectivity, global alliances are proving and will continue to be especially important. However, what and where to focus next, and how to enable more private sector involvement are vital issues that will require different considerations by the government. Therefore, Madam Speaker, enabling good-fitting solutions is critical. Madam Speaker, any difficulties that constrains, hinder, or outright block the delivery of digital connectivity could have real adverse and serious effect on lives and livelihood. We need a comprehensive, high-quality, affordable, and accessible digital connectivity to reduce poverty, to improve equality, deliver quality education, and build sustainable cities and communities. What's next? I want to now discuss the new frontier of digital technology, digital revolution. Madam Speaker, I again commend the Minister, but I want to remind him that investment in science, technology, and innovation lag behind comparable levels. Most of the input needed to remedy this situation include researchers, universities, and innovative firms. Still, they are plagued by poor coordination, lack of funding, and other shortcomings. Reaping the benefit of ICT revolution requires the possibility of access to ICT and the capacity to use them in practical and productive ways. The International Telecommunication Union confirms that most developing countries are still stuck in analyzing access and penetration. Madam Speaker, research has shown that as household income falls, there is a steady rise in internet use for educational purposes. This finding suggests that both the importance of education and the potential of the internet as an educational driver must be aligned to support the poor. The ICT revolution has changed the lives and habits of individuals and households.
Madam Speaker, the member's time having expired, I beg to move that he be given enough time to complete his presentation.
Members, the question before the House is that the member be given sufficient time to complete his presentation. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The ICT revolution has changed the lives and habits of individuals and households, and has also radically revolutionized the businesses, how businesses are conducted. ICT benefits businesses chiefly by enhancing productivity through increased efficiency of internal processes and broadening market reach, both domestically and internationally, through new markets and commercialization approaches, including e-commerce. Technology and tourism. Madam Speaker, Jamaica saw a severe decline in the tourism sector gross domestic product, GDP, contribution due to the coronavirus pandemic. In 2020, this sector accounted directly and indirectly for 12% of the country's gross domestic product. However, Madam Speaker, with the reopening of the country and its borders, the tourism sector could possibly see unprecedented growth. These projected earnings are the most crucial matrix in ensuring that tourism promotes national economic interest, and as the Minister of Tourism stated, the country has been able to increase earnings by $1 billion in over 3 years. Madam Speaker, there's even a more massive potential for growth beyond this scope, with the joint forces of both technology and tourism. The tourism industry is amid a profound metamorphosis. The change goes beyond the tourist experience. It improves processes, customer service, relationships with customers, and the creation of new business models, thereby enriching the travel planning process. This is in part played by the technological advances that have promised to bring short-term changes to the sector. Madam Speaker, mobile technology has become undoubtedly the main character in the new way of travel. Using a straightforward app can allow users to obtain information regarding their ticket, boarding passes, and updates on their flight status. The user is guaranteed to have their travel information in their hands in one app. The concept of augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, allows travelers to teleport themselves to the most remote corners of the globe without getting off the couch. With a Black River app, a Black River Safari app, VR app, travelers can experience an undiscovered rustic side of Jamaica. The Internet of Things is designated the major transformative factor in personalizing the consumer experience. However, sadly, so many more advances and advantages cannot be discussed in this forum. Madam Speaker, technology is evolving rapidly in front of our eyes and is poised to transform the world as we know it. For example, travel technology becomes all more powerful with the help of 5G networks. As a result, the immersive tourist experience will be a reality, and technological advances in letting corporations get closer and know their customers better. All this, Madam Speaker, we are still at the beginning. The digitization revolution is moving much faster and therefore requires much more impactful actions on the part of the state. Combined with a thrust to improve digital literacy, we must all treat this aspect of development without delay, because our next 60 years and more as a nation depend on it. Digital financing, fintech. While technological innovation in finance is not new, investment in modern technologies have substantially increased in recent years, and the pace of innovation is exponential. As the world is shifting from cash to electronic transactions amid the pandemic, digital wallet solutions are increasingly gaining ground against other payment methods. Links, the fintech arm of the NCB Financial Group, has rolled out its own new digital wallet inspired by the International Cash App and Zelle. It is a new way to empower the Jamaican people to pursue their dreams by using technology to revolutionize finance. Madam Speaker, this holds an enormous opportunity for greater financial inclusion and expansion of essential services. Moreover, digital finance is a powerful means to expand access beyond financial services to other sectors, including agriculture, transportation, water, health, education, and clean energy. Delivering financial services through technological innovation, including via mobile money, can be a catalyst for improving and using a diverse set of other financial services, including credit, insurance, savings, and financial education. Those who are now excluded can enjoy expanded access. The buzzword digital finance should be an everyday reality for all Jamaican people. This should not be just a fancy option, but a norm for commercial transaction by those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. If I may digress somewhat, Madam Speaker, we need to empower the minds of our Jamaican people. Factor in the time it takes sitting in traffic to travel to the bank, then waiting in line, especially if you are on your way to work. You may have lost as much as 2 hours of your working day to conduct one simple transaction that could have been completed in 5 minutes or less if you're online. There is no time lost during travel or time spent waiting in line, which saves both the customer and the businesses precious hours that can be invested in producing or innovating to yield more goods and services, and at the same time reducing the need for imports, whether labor imports or other imports. And Madam Speaker, here the senior gentleman talk about imports. I just figure that he would know about this, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when productivity is low, the local currency is likely to be weaker. Providing a healthy local productivity helps the country to better withstand blows from external shocks, such as that emanating from the current Russian-Ukraine war. Madam Speaker, that is a visionary stance that we need to take as we invest in our Jamaica. That is a national development plan that needs to be implemented for all of us. Madam Speaker, the digitization revolution is moving at a fast pace and will require much more impactful actions as our Jamaican people, like Tanisha and our young friends from Ty Dixon, Topil and Loidersville, will depend on it. There is a massive potential for digital finance in rural development, and the role of post offices. Most post offices are in the rural areas, which can play a critical role in enhancing financial inclusion to effectively deliver a variety of financial services. Madam Speaker, we need the basic access points of any technological platform for digital accessibility. The success of fintech requires close public-private cooperation in removing such barriers as cost, distance, and regulatory complexities. Madam Speaker, I cannot overemphasize that the birth of such tech tools requires the people and the proper governance for economic stimulus. We still do not have island-wide digital access. The ability to navigate, evaluate, and communicate information online is now a mandatory requirement for expanding the technological avenues available to our society. The gaps in technological advances are getting wider. There must be a paradigm shift from the primitive form of assistance to economic enablement for the concept of digital literacy to be a reality. For the rural constituents to utilize these technological tools. This is the type of investment that our Jamaica people need. Cellular agriculture and research and technology. With investments in these new areas of agriculture, food, and biotechnology, Jamaica could reduce the need for imports and guarantee its food security while allowing more land to be used for both development and environmental restoration. The concept of cellular agriculture and farming should not be regarded as foreign or impossible, leaving the ability of such new technologies to be applied only in a new developed country. We need to move Jamaica from a restrictive society to an initiative-taking society that invests in the progress of its people. The important objective of using these concepts to reduce the land required to feed our people. One recent innovation involves using food technology to make grains, soy, lentils, and vegetables into a product similar in appearance and taste to that of meat. Producing proteins from plants is usually more efficient than having protein from animals. This may help by increasing the number of people fed from a given area of land without requiring them to change their dietary preferences. Livestock production currently takes up most of the world's agricultural land for grazing and feed crops. So, replacing extensive farming with cellular agriculture will allow the redundant agricultural lands to be used for environmental restoration, increase resilience against disasters, restored biodiversity, and draw down carbon from the atmosphere to reduce the rate of climate change. Once these technologies are available, we could feed ourselves from the bioreactors and surround ourselves with trees and parks while maintaining a high food security level. Let me now turn to commerce. Madam Speaker, we, the opposition, believe in our manufacturers. We believe that they are worthy of more than a page. And deserve more government support. The country is in desperate need of economic stimulus and policies that will become conducive to this. Madam Speaker, we need to drive demand at no cost to the government. I am sure the Minister of Finance, who would normally be there, would appreciate this, as there might be no fiscal space, as he might have said, with which the government can fuel growth. Investing in our Jamaican products is a sure economic driver, especially as a COVID-19 recovery tool and the global impact of the war in Ukraine. Investing in our people should be a staple diet of the government. Let us spend Jamaica taxpayer money on Jamaican products. This will foster development of entrepreneurs as they will see a ready market. It will stimulate local investment and local competition and will foster growth, employment and development. Madam Speaker, the Jamaican government should buy Jamaican products. In closing, Madam Speaker, as I reflect on the words of the late, most Honorable Michael Manley, who birthed the concept of a society of justice, a society of opportunity, and an empowered society, states that any realistic vision of change must be based on the notion of empowerment of all our people. Madam Speaker, the task of building a resilient country and increasing awareness of our people's needs rests solely in our hands and upon our shoulders. It is clearly written in Matthew 5, verse 10, that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. We are the representatives of our people, and we have been appointed to serve the people. And I am sure, Madam Speaker, that you'll agree, Madam Speaker, that unquestionably the future of the online universe is ours and ours alone to shape. Jamaica, land we love. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
You catch it? Man, say you drop it, you know. Yeah.
So, Madam Speaker, I am sure that we have been treated to two excellent presentations. The Minister in particular was outstanding, Madam Speaker, and we want to commend the quality of the presentations today. Madam Speaker, I'd like to move for the suspension of the sectoral debate until Tuesday, May 31st, at 2 p.m., May 31st, at 2 p.m. at the George William Gordon House. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
The question before the House is that the sectoral debate be suspended until Tuesday, the 31st of May, 2022 at 2 p.m. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it.
Madam Speaker, it's not intended to do any further business today. So I beg to move that the House be adjourned until May 31st at 2 p.m. in the George William Gordon House.
Members, the question is that the House do adjourn until next week, Tuesday, the 31st of May at 2 p.m. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. This House is now adjourned.